So we are recording. I'm assuming so. Let's share the screen. Wait. Let me get the right tab up. Okay. Now are you seeing the design foundation slides?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. You'll get your attendance credit, 10 points for attending the lecture. And don't forget your forum discussions. Those are 25 points. So we're back to doing some reading this week. We jump around through some chapters, though. You're going to take a look at chapter 3, 11, 12, and 14. And they will take a look at then our unit focuses of the week, one of them being figure types. There are more variety in women's body types than there are in men body types, but there are differences. And when designing clothes, different silhouettes are going to work better for different body types. So it's always a good idea to be aware of those and be sure to offer some of those choice options across a collection or a line of clothing so that you can keep a wide, broad audience base. Then along with those figure types are our first fashion personalities. These are where the personal self-expression comes through, and most people tend to kind of naturally go towards one type of look or another, or maybe they like for their professional lives to have a very conservative look, but then their home lifestyles may be very different. They may be very romantic at heart, or the sporty, outdoorsy type and things. So those are also certain personalities, although designers tend to usually appeal to one type of personality rather than, whereas in figure types, you're trying to make sure you kind of appeal to a variety of them. And then a very important part of clothing and understanding the customer's needs and their ultimate decision is, how is the clothes fit them, and the quality that goes into the clothing. So there's a lesson on that. Tina, I did look at the online lesson you took, and that one glitchy question, I credited you those points, so you did great on that lesson. Anybody else who has not taken the lesson yet, if you get a question that you know you've typed in the right answer and it keeps telling you it's the wrong answer and it keeps making you, it's like it just is caught in a loop, use the list on the left side to be able to go to the next page in the lesson and move forward. I go through and look at each of those answers, and I can see what you had typed in. So if it's correct, you'll get your points for it. And that way you can move through the rest of the lesson.
I was wondering, I'm like, no matter which way I wrote it, it would say wrong. I'm like, but the first time I did it, it was correct, and it would just kick me off.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm afraid I've edited the question so many times now that it's just like stuck in its, I don't know, process of thinking it was whatever I originally set. You get introduced to two concepts. It's 1 and 2. So if you type those in, you'll get the credit for it. But like I said, you may have to force it to move forward through the lesson, and I'll go back and check your answers. And then wardrobe planning. This is also helpful. If you ever work in retail, dealing with customers, it's always good to kind of know sort of what if they're return customers, help them build a wardrobe. You might even be hired as a stylist to actually help plan and provide consultation work as well with wardrobe planning. So it's a good skill to have. It sort of comes in handy, though, overall, when you are a designer considering designing a whole collection or line of clothing, and planning a wardrobe is good for that. You'll get some practice with this with one of our activities this week, which here in another slide or two I'm going to talk about. So your assignments, don't forget that forum discussion, the quality of apparel lesson module, inspiration book, the last one for this class. It's still the same, 5 sources and 5 sketches. And then I think the fun one is the Polyvore activity. And of course, your final exam is available anytime between Wednesday and Sunday, but remember in week 3, you take 1 attempt at it. All right, so the polyvore.com is at polyvore.com website, and you will have to register. It does not cost you anything. And I actually had a student one time ask if she had to buy these things. No, you do not need to buy any of these clothes. You're just putting together a page, an outfit, some accessories and things. So you're kind of working almost as if you were a magazine editor. And that's very much similar to the layouts that you would see in a magazine that they'll put together to suggest for their customers of outfits and looks to fit different body types, different personality styles, and for different needs as far as, do you need a business wear look, just something to wear out to lunch with your friends and maybe a movie during the day or out to a museum visit, or evening activities, cocktail hour, or something maybe more formal. And then the other was, I think, more of like a weekend or sportswear kind of option. But in order to shop your items, you can go through different categories like tops and bottoms, jackets, shoes, accessories. And if you click the like button, it puts it into your personal likes, which I kind of call your closet. And that makes it sometimes a little easier for you to narrow down when you're putting your collections together. Once you've kind of perused through that, you will create, and there's a button across the top for create, to put together your layout. On the tabs in the right-hand side is where you can go and pick different backgrounds if you want. You can add titles and borders. You can actually look for pictures and images if you want to use them in the background, just to help set a mood for a look. Then you can also put your items into the page layout for that particular look which you're trying to achieve. You have 4 different specified looks. And if you'd like, you can seek me out on Polyvore. I am under M. Wamigo, and see a few of my layouts. Here is an example of one of my layouts. I call it Eclectic Monday. So it's going to be my business wear look. And through my description here, I chose to kind of write it in paragraph form. If you want to keep it very much like scientific data, like, this is for body type, such and such, personality type, such and such. The look is business wear. The look is evening wear. You can keep it cut and dry like that as well. But I chose to kind of write it up as if it's like a little fashion blog. So to jump into the work week and the office. So I'm defining my business wear. The eclectic mix of classic cut shirt and the pencil skirt. So I'm using some of my vocabulary from week 2 to describe my items. I describe textures on them, the looks, the colors, and I am making this for our more eclectic or dramatic sort of fashion personality by using those vocabulary words. I also talk about the body type that it would work for. The mix and match separates is I pull in proportions and balance for the rectangular body figure, so I address that. I talk about the color scheme and some of my principles and elements of design. So you're utilizing and pulling together parts and things you have learned in all 3 weeks of this class. So principles and elements, colors, color schemes, details and names of pieces of clothing, your body types, and your fashion personalities. It's all got to come together for this. All right. Any questions on that that you might have, Tina?
Yeah, my writing sucked.
Well, I think you can still continue to edit on there.
I don't know, cause pretty much I'm not good at explaining, so I can put an outfit together all day for you, but just don't ask me how to write it.
Yeah. Well, then keep it in the simplified, like scientific sort of format where this is body type, colon, this is for the triangle body type.
Like in the example you give in the assignment itself, I just copied and pasted it right above what I had to write, and then I kind of
Filled in the filled in the answers. That would work too. That's fine as long as you touch on all of those aspects. That's what I'm looking for. Did you answer each of those questions?
I don't remember.
Well, go back through and check. I'll do my grading on Sunday and Monday. So the Polyboard lets you edit those layouts. So as long as you get it in by then.
Can I show you later on what I did, what I've done?
Yeah, if we've got time, because I've got another lecture at 6:30. So let me go ahead and move on to our next slide here. Now, this one is not a required activity or an assignment, but I just want everyone to know that there is a website out there that will help you kind of figure out what would work for your body type and your body shape and measurements. And it's called joyofclothes.com. Again, you have to sign up for a membership, but it does not cost you anything. And you can make your own personal croquis that you can style clothes on that to find out how they best complement your body's shape. You will need some of the basic body measurements in order to type those in so that their program will create your body according to your measurements and sizes. So it's kind of a fun one to play around with. I had just recently come across it. That's why it's never been really put into a required assignment, but I thought I would share. joyofclothes.com.
Do you have to pay? Is there a payment for the membership?
No, I believe it is free.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, and if there is any payment, I have a feeling they at least give you some like minimal access to doing some things, and then maybe if you want to pay more, they provide further services and things. But it's worth checking out. You know, you kind of want to know all these kinds of things. You never know if somebody asks you, well, what's going to work good on me? And you could look it up and tell them, or you can send them to here and have them figure it out. But
yeah, I don't think she can see you.
All right. And then that brings us to the end of the slideshow. So I need to exit there and stop sharing. Okay. So Tina, before I have you share yours, any other questions right now?
No, I really didn't have too much problems with any of the assignments.
Okay. Other than that glitchy lesson.
Yeah. And because I kept trying, I'm like, why do I keep getting kicked out? I mean, or keep saying can't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of confusing. Oh, where'd you go? Okay. Hi. Yes, you can say hi. He's been trying to say hi to you the whole time he's been talking. Okay, let's see. All right. Now, I've just made up the titles. I didn't really know what to write,
Mm-hmm.
So I just made up, like stuff. So, like,
He had to make up the title.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Trying to move our little screens out of the way so I can see there. All right, so it's obviously an evening because you say it's for an evening out. You address the body type. You talk about utilizing emphasis then as one of your principles. The rhythm. with the necklace and the earrings, because when you style a whole outfit, you can remember the things you put with the clothing, the garment piece, can also then become part of the overall look and have impact with the way it is perceived then by the viewer. So that's a important thing to think about, that those accessories can also play into your elements and your principles of design and the overall look. So looks good. You've got that. You might address what color scheme is going on, and maybe just make it a little more clear which fashion personality.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. Now, how do I know if these are, if other people can see them? I mean,
let's see. So you're probably, when you are ready to, well, when you click publish, and then that's usually when you get the opportunity to write in your description on it. There's usually a setting with when you go to publish, if it's a private or public.
I didn't see anything like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just playing.
Yeah. What you can always copy, and this really actually is the easiest, if you just copy the address up in your web browser bar, copy that, and then paste it into the assignment, then I can get there. And as long as it's got a setting for that. So if you click on your edit button, I think that's where you can go in and you can, if you need to add any more to your layout, you can, but then when you click publish again, there we go. And let's see.
This one? Because I didn't want to post with anyone on Facebook. I didn't really.
Yeah, you can take that off. But I'm assuming, I guess it is still a public one on Polyvore.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, because I had created, I did 3. I know I have to do. Okay, because here's another one.
Okay, so you identify which of the 4 looks it is. You identify the body type, so don't forget your fashion personality. All right. And you've got, as long as you address some elements and principles and colors, and then use your descriptions. Looks pretty good.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure I was doing it right, because like I said, I was just trying to figure out what to write.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's it. I just wanted to know if I was doing that right.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, then I guess we will wrap it up for this class.
All right. Thank you for your help.
All right. Thank you for tuning in.
Well, I'll see you next week.
Okay. If you get all your stuff done and get your quiz taken, you can have your weekend off.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, though, they work through the week and use their weekends to get stuff done. So stay with it. Tina, I think this is your last of your phase 1.
Yes.
And then I've got some others in the class that have a few more in phase 1, then they'll be moving on to the next one shortly.
Okay.
All right. You have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Actually,